Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss with different concepts of economics. There are different concepts of economics. So the concept we will discuss today in this class. So you don't skip the video and listen carefully about this different concept, so that I think you will be clear with all these concepts. Now the first concept is that price. Now every commodity has its own price. Each and every commodity has its price. So what we can say, the price of a commodity is the amount of money that has to be given to get the commodity. For example, if you go to a shop and you want to buy a beautiful dress, and if that dress costs rupees 1000, that means what, you have to pay rupees 1000 for that dress. So the price of the dress is rupees 1000. So that means what, that dress here is a commodity and you have to pay 1000 rupees in order to get that commodity. And also there are many goods which is very useful, but they don't command any price. Why is it so? Because those type of goods are not scarce. Those type of goods are not scarce. They are available in unlimited quantity. For example, we can say that goods like air, which are the free gift of nature. Air is very much useful to us, but it does not have any money. It does not command any price for it. You don't have to give any price to get that air. That air is available in free. The air is available for us in free because that good is unlimited, that is not scarce. So that is the reason it is telling that though air is useful, as it is available in plenty, it is not scarce, so it will not have any price. Next topic we will come, that is equilibrium price. You have to know the meaning of this word equilibrium price. What does this equilibrium price means? Equilibrium price is a price at which quantity demanded equals quantity supplied. That means what? The price ultimately settle down at the equilibrium. That is at the level where the quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. Suppose a price of a dress, as I have told you earlier, the price of a dress, suppose it is rupees 1000. So here 1000 is the equilibrium price. Why? Because the seller is willing to sell at that price, and we are the buyers, we are willing to buy at that price. Now if the price was 1200, instead of 1000, suppose the price was 1200, though the producer is willing to sell at 1200, but the buyer is not willing to purchase that dress at 1200. So in that case there will be a bargaining. Seller will say that no, you have to give 1200. Here the buyer will say no, you have to give, I will not buy it for 1200, I will give you 1000. After that, when the seller agrees, okay, you can give 1000 for that dress. That means what? Here 1000 is the price at which the quantity demanded. That means the buyer want to give 1000 rupee for the dress, which is equal to the quantity supply. That means at that price only the seller wants to sell that dress. So this is the equilibrium price. Okay. So therefore we can tell that price is a very sensitive index here. Any change in the demand and supply will brings about a change in the equilibrium price. Any change in the demand and supply. So this equilibrium price will change. Why? Due to the change in this demand and supply. If any under any condition, if the demand and supply change, your equilibrium price will also change. So that is why we can also tell that as price respond to changes in demand and supply, so we can tell that this is a price mechanism. We can also tell this is a price mechanism. Why? Because prices always responds to change in demand and supply. Next we come to the concept. What is the meaning of this word general price level? See, general price level refers to the average level of prices of all goods and services produced in the economy. That means what? Here the general price level may increase or decrease during a particular period of time. Why? Because this is what? This is the average level of prices of all goods and services produced in the economy. This is the average price level, and this can increase or this can decrease. If there is a large increase in the general price level, that is called inflation. On the other hand, what we can tell, if there is a large decrease in the general price level, we can call it as deflation. If there is an increase, that is inflation, and if there is a decrease in the general price level, then it is called the deflation. Next we come to know what is the meaning of this word inflation. Inflation is generally defined as a process of persistent and appreciable rise in the general price level. It is a persistent, not a sudden rise in the price level, but a continuous process. Okay, so what we can tell is a persistent and appreciable rise in the price level, then only we can say there is an inflation. Rise in the price level should be prolonged, not sudden, but it should be prolonged. Then we can tell there is an inflationary rise in the price. Inflation does not mean that one time rise in the price, but what we can tell, a persistent rise in the price level. One more thing we can tell, that inflation measures the rate of change in the price level. Inflation measures the rate of change in the price level, and this price level is indicated by, we use two price index. One is the consumer price index and one is the wholesale price index. So this is certain, we can tell, some important points about the definition of this inflation. Now there are two types of inflation. One is a demand pull inflation and another is a cost push inflation. Now let us know the meaning of this word demand pull inflation. What is this demand pull inflation? Inflation originated from the demand forces is called demand pull inflation. That means what we can tell, if the aggregate demand increases rapidly, if there is a excess increase in the demand, then the production in the economy means the supply of the goods in the economy. That means when your demand is greater than the supply, supply is less but your demand is more, then what we can tell, there will be a rise in the price level. Then demand will beat the limited supply and therefore the price will rise. Next is the cost push inflation. What is this cost push inflation? See, cost push inflation refers to the inflationary rise in prices which arise due to increase in the cost. Demand push inflation was what? When it originated from the demand forces, and here cost push means which arises due to increase in the cost. Now see, if the cost increases, then what will happen? That means what? Your money wages will also increase. If the money wages will increase, then what will happen? And due to this increase in the money wages, cost per unit will also increase because the wages are increasing. Your cost per unit will also increase because wages are also included in the production. Cost of production, it is included there. Wages are also included. So what will happen? The producer will raise their prices to cover the higher profit. The producers will raise the prices to cover the higher cost, because the producer will also want to make the profit. So what they will do? They will rise the prices in order to make the profit. Sometimes the producer may rise the prices of their product so as to earn higher profit.